Okay, so we've all felt this, right? You know that feeling you get at the end of a long day where your feet and ankles feel like balloons?
Oh, yeah.
Like gravity's been working against you all day long and it's finally won?
Totally.
Well, today on this deep dive, we are going to find out exactly what is going on there.
Should be interesting.
Yeah, it should be super fascinating. So we've got this article, Gravity versus Your Legs.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like we're going to learn about this kind of hidden battle that's happening inside of all of us every single day.
Yeah, it's a constant push and pull, really. I mean, if you think about it, our bodies are mostly water, right?
Right.
About 60%. And all that fluid, it's constantly on the move.
So it's not just like sitting there.
No, not at all.
Just a stagnant pool or something.
It's constantly circulating, delivering nutrients, removing waste, the whole 9 yards.
I see.
Our heart is the engine, pumping blood through all those arteries to every part of the body.
Right.
And then the veins, they have that tough job of carrying the blood back up to the heart.
Okay.
And that's where gravity really comes into play.
So it's almost like they're swimming upstream.
Exactly.
Especially for our legs and feet down at the bottom.
Yeah, it's like this uphill battle against gravity. But luckily our bodies are, pretty smart.
Uh-huh.
And they have these, teeny tiny little one-way valves in the veins.
Okay.
Almost like, imagine little gates
Okay.
that only open in one direction.
Got it.
So that ensures that the blood is flowing upwards and it can't, backslide.
So they're keeping everything moving the right direction.
Exactly.
Okay, I got it. So, but what happens when those little gates, so to speak, don't work as well as they should?
Well, that's when, things can start to go wrong.
Okay.
If those valves, if they weaken, it's like a door that doesn't quite shut all the way.
Okay.
Blood can start to pool in the lower legs and feet, and boom, you've got swelling.
So the longer that we're upright, the more that gravity is kind of working against those valves.
Yeah.
And the more likely we are to see the swelling, like by the end of the day.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Think about, when you've been standing for hours or if you've ever been on a long flight.
Right.
Gravity's really putting your circulatory system to the test. But that's not the only culprit.
The article also mentions some other things that can make it worse.
Oh, absolutely. Heat, for example.
Okay.
Heat can cause your blood vessels to dilate, which can increase fluid buildup in the legs.
Okay.
And then there's your diet, high salt intake.
Right.
That makes your body retain water, so that can add to the problem.
So if I'm picturing like a hot summer day at the beach, snacking on some salty chips.
Yeah.
That's like a recipe for swollen ankles.
You got it. But of course, there are other factors too.
Okay.
Hormonal changes can play a role. And sometimes swelling can actually be a sign of a medical condition.
That's a good point. Always good to check with the doctor if you are having persistent swelling.
Right.
Or anything unusual. But for the rest of us who are just kind of dealing with those everyday puffy ankles after a long day,
Yeah.
what can we do? The article had some suggestions there. What can we do to fight back against gravity?
Oh, there are definitely things that you can do. And some of them are surprisingly simple.
Okay.
We'll get into those. But before we do, let's talk a little bit about what's actually happening in those swollen tissues. Well, when we see swelling, what we're actually seeing is a backup in another system that's crucial for fluid balance.
Okay.
The lymphatic system.
Oh, right, the lymphatic system. I kind of remember that from, like way back in biology class.
Yeah.
But maybe a refresher would be good.
So basically, it's kind of like a parallel network to your blood vessels.
Okay.
But instead of carrying blood, it carries lymph fluid.
Got it.
And this fluid, it collects waste and toxins, all that excess fluid from your tissues, filters it through those lymph nodes before it's returned back to the bloodstream.
So it's kind of like a cleanup crew.
Exactly, a cleanup crew. And just like the veins, the lymphatic system, it has to work against gravity to move that fluid upwards.
Okay.
So in those tiny lymphatic vessels, when they get overloaded or if that flow becomes sluggish, you get swelling.
So it's not just the blood circulating then.
Right.
But this lymphatic drainage system is playing a part too.
Exactly.
And I'm guessing this is where those practical tips that we talked about for dealing with the swelling come in.
Exactly. One really popular recommendation is compression therapy.
Okay.
And specifically compression socks.
Okay, so tell me about compression socks. Are they really they're cracked up to be? I always think of them as something that like athletes wear.
Well, yeah, athletes definitely use them, but the benefits, they go way beyond sports.
Okay.
Think about it this way.
Yeah.
Compression socks, they gently squeeze your legs. And they apply this graduated pressure.
Okay.
That's tighter down around the ankles and then gradually decreases as you go up the leg.
Wait, graduated pressure? What's so special about that?
That's the key. It's like, giving your veins and lymphatic vessels like a little helping hand.
Okay.
That graduated pressure helps push the fluid upward. So it's like counteracting that downward pull from gravity.
So it's not just like squeezing everything in.
Right.
It's actually mimicking how it should flow naturally in your body.
You got it. And by improving that circulation and the lymphatic drainage, compression socks can really help. They reduce swelling, prevent blood clots. They can even, improve athletic performance.
So it's not just, like random squeezing.
Right.
It's actually targeted to support those systems.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now, the article also mentioned like some other simpler strategies, right?
Yes.
Things like, moving around more or elevating your legs.
Oh, absolutely. Those are really fantastic ways to combat swelling naturally.
Okay.
Every time you move your legs, what you're doing is you're activating your calf muscles,
Mm-hmm.
which act like pumps to push that blood and lymph fluid back towards your heart.
So you're giving those systems like a little workout.
Exactly. A little workout. And elevating your legs above heart level, that helps too.
Okay.
Because it allows gravity to work in your favor for once.
Okay, so move more, elevate those legs. Simple enough. What about diet? I know the article mentioned salt intake.
Yeah, salt is a major culprit when it comes to fluid retention.
Okay.
So when you eat a lot of salty foods, your body holds on to water,
Right.
which can make that swelling worse.
So swap out the potato chips for something a little less sodium-packed?
Exactly.
Okay.
And on the flip side, staying hydrated is super important.
Yeah.
Because when you're dehydrated, your body tries to actually conserve water,
Huh.
which can lead to more swelling.
So drinking more water can actually help reduce swelling. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's one of those things where your body's trying to protect itself,
Yeah.
but it kind of backfires in this case.
Interesting.
So staying adequately hydrated helps keep those fluids moving, and it prevents your body from going into like water-saving mood.
Got it. Hydrate, watch the salt, keep moving those legs. But there was one more thing in the article.
Yeah.
And that was massage. Does that really do anything, or is that just like a feel-good thing?
It's definitely more than just like a pampering session.
Okay.
Massage, especially lymphatic drainage massage, can be really effective in reducing swelling.
How so?
Well, lymphatic drainage massage uses really gentle rhythmic strokes
Okay.
that target the lymphatic system,
Mm-hmm.
helping to stimulate that flow of lymph fluid and clear out any blockages.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, manually unclogging a drain, but in a very gentle and relaxing way.
So it's like giving your lymphatic system a little nudge.
Exactly. A little nudge in the right direction. And it's a really powerful tool, especially when you combine it with those other strategies like compression and exercise.
Ah, so we've really covered a lot here. Turns out swollen ankles and, feet are way more complicated than I thought they were.
Right. It's not just gravity, pulling everything down.
Yeah, and what I think is really fascinating is, it's not like we're just stuck with it, right? Like swollen ankles are just a part of life and, we can actually take action to kind of help our bodies deal with all that fluid more effectively.
Definitely. It's really empowering when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
Understanding all those systems and how they work, it gives you the tools to really make a difference in how you feel.
Yeah, for sure. It's like I'm thinking about my body in like a totally new way.
Yeah.
It's not just this, vessel that I'm stuck with.
Right.
It's this dynamic system that I can support.
Exactly. And that's what makes these deep dives so cool, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about, getting all this information.
Right.
It's about understanding how it all works together and applies to you.
Exactly. So to everyone listening out there, I want to leave you with this. Now that we all understand kind of the why behind scaling, right?
Yeah.
We've learned about all these tools to combat it.
Right.
What's one thing you're going to change like today to feel lighter on your feet?
Maybe he's taking a walk at lunch or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just start drinking more water throughout the day.
Yeah. Or, maybe you're finally going to get those compression socks
Right.
you've been thinking about trying.
That's it.
Whatever it is, just, take that first step.
That's what matters.
It's not about, being perfect.
Mhm.
It's just about progress.
You got it.
And sometimes the smallest changes can have the biggest impact.
Definitely.
This has been such a cool deep dive. And I'm like already thinking about how I can take better care of my legs and feet.
Me too. I mean, it's amazing how much we can learn when we take a deeper look at these things that, we experience every day.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, hey, thanks for joining us as we kind of went on this little journey
Yeah.
into the world of circulation and gravity and, how to keep those fluids flowing.
Absolutely.
So until next time, everyone, stay curious and keep those legs moving.